In today's video, we're going to be talking about content quality score and how it affects the overall ranking of your website. This is something that is often misunderstood, and people think that there is only a page quality score, but it's not true. There's not just a page quality score, there is an overall content quality score of your website. Now, you can actually watch this video right here if you want to learn from the horse's mouth instead of from YouTubers. I will leave a link to this podcast from the Google Search Central team. These are the people who are behind Google Search Console. They help people learn how to use Google Search Console. They are from Google. This is the best place to learn about these kinds of things, not from YouTubers. However, if you prefer to watch a 10-minute video instead of a 20-minute podcast, then just keep watching this video. However, I will leave a link to this video right here. It's episode 64 of their podcast, and it'll tell you everything that I'm about to tell you in this video. I'm just going to repeat it. So, the way this works is there is actually part of the algorithm is that they use the page before or a previous page to predict whether or not the next page will be good, okay? So let's say the first page is good. Let's say they give you a page score of A for this. They assume that the next article that you wrote will also be A quality content, okay? So this is a perfect way to build trust with Google. Now, a lot of people think trust is purely based on backlinks. It's not purely based on backlinks. There is also content quality score, okay? So, if you come in and you make a beautiful homepage, a beautiful About Us page, all of that good stuff, and then you come in and you write a terrible F blog post, then they assume that the next thing that you write will be bad as well, okay? And let's say it is bad. Then you realize that you're writing bad content, so you decide to write a good blog post and you get an A score here. The problem now is that you've shown that your content is not always good enough to get indexed. Now, I'm going to show you proof of this from my own websites in this video. But this is how it works. So what does this mean? It means that you should always be producing good content, because otherwise you are risking not being indexed. Now, what affects good content? What makes good content? What makes bad content? One of the things they're looking for are formatting errors, especially with so much ChatGPT content being written these days. One of the most common problems that people have is some kind of HTML problem with the FAQ page or the FAQ section, or, for example, in this article here, this image is not real. I actually don't know why. I guess the link is not correct. Formatting errors are something that will instantly start to shut your website down. Okay. One of the other problems is crap content. Okay, and I'm going to show you evidence of that as well in this video. What does crap content mean? It means someone clicks on it, they start to read, they don't get any information whatsoever from the article, so they leave immediately. You do not want people to leave your page immediately. It's a very, very bad sign to Google. I like to make this kind of point. It's like if I start every one of my videos with a jump scare and people leave because they're scared. Obviously, Google or YouTube is not going to promote my video if everybody leaves after 5 seconds because I'm jump scaring people, okay? So it's kind of the same thing with the Google algorithm. I have talked about this before, but it's been a while since I've talked about content quality score and page quality score. Now let's talk about some actual evidence for this. Now, Tiny Home Hub was supposed to be my shining example of how to create a website. However, it is kind of just fallen by the wayside now that I'm so busy. What I wanted to see right now is Google still indexing this content? So I've been using an auto blogger. It's actually Article Fiesta, the one that I've been using. I would be very surprised if this is still getting indexed every single time. If not, if this isn't indexed, then this is a perfect example of what we're talking about right here. I would be surprised if there was, yeah, it's not indexed. I would have been very surprised if that was indexed. Let's try some of the earlier ones. Let's see if they're still getting indexed here. This is probably not indexed. No. Let's try this one. Why do they all have 3 on the end? Have I just been writing the same article over and over and over? So you can see this is actually exactly what I was talking about. The quality of the content has gone down. Is this indexed? No. So it's not even indexing things anymore. Let's go a few pages in, and let's see if there are some pages at least that have got indexed in the last month. So we'll try this one right here. It looks like I'm just I must have just been writing the same article over and over without even realizing it. So this is a perfect example of how to not do a website. So if I go back to, I don't know, page like 6 or something, it was originally getting indexed. There's a lot of content that is getting indexed. So let's just choose. It looks like it's just repeating the same articles. I should probably have a look at the settings on Article Fiesta here. So this still does show a good example of what I'm talking about in this video. So we're on all the way on page 10, 12th of September 2023. Let's see if we were getting indexed back then. Okay, so this is indexed. So at some point, I started making bad content on this website, okay? If I'd continued making decent content and keeping more of an eye on it and not just repeating the same blog post over and over and over, then it would still be getting indexed. And that is this in a slightly more complicated form. That is this formula right here, okay? All of the first pages I released were good. You can see this by going on, I don't know, Tiny Home Legal. I'm sorry that there's no Alabama here before before the Alabama guy comments. Shout out to the Alabama guy who's not even from Alabama, but repeatedly tells me there's no Alabama here. Shout out to you. All of these pages were good, okay, and these are, or they were, getting indexed. They were ranking, etc., etc. These are just ChatGPT written pages. You know, they have tables, they have internal links, etc., etc. So I'd be very, very surprised if this wasn't indexed. And if it's not indexed, it's just because it's like what's it called? A duplicate page. Yeah, it's not indexed, but it's okay. Some of these pages are indexed. So yeah, it's originally all of my content was good, and so this was good, indexed, yes. Okay. But because I just kind of forgot about the website and just let Article Fiesta do its thing, and it looks like it was just repeating over and over, it went good, and then it just started producing bad. So now nothing is getting indexed. So this is the key to this point. And let me show you what this looks like on Search Console, okay? This right here is a classic example of Google realizing that the content is not good. In fact, I would be willing to put some money on the fact that around October the 3rd is when the blog posts stopped getting indexed. So let's actually do that as an experiment. Let's go to, I don't know, page 9. I'm doing all of this live. I didn't prepare this video very much. Let's see. So it's actually going to be a little bit further back. So we'll have to go to page 12 or so. I think they were still getting indexed around here, though. No, not page 12, page 11. Okay, so I actually didn't release any content around there. So we'll take one of these powerful portable generators right here. These are kind of relevant, by the way. I had a lot of people saying that, why are you posting irrelevant content to this website? I'm not. This is relevant for sure. It's just not getting any impressions whatsoever. Okay, so it was around the 31st of October when things stopped ranking, okay? But you can see this is what it looks like when your website gets hit by this de-indexing, or Google suddenly knows that you're not posting good content, etc., etc. Let me show you this on another website. I talked about this briefly yesterday when I was making a video. I wanted to show you the difference between what Google considers a good article and what Google considers a bad article. Now, this shouldn't affect me as much because the overall posting history of 2Men is good. Okay? Pretty much every page on 2Men is considered good. But you can see that it still affects, even within pages, the ranking of the page. So let me show you the difference between these two articles. The first one is this one here, which has this error. This is a formatting HTML error. Potentially, I actually don't know what the problem is here. Maybe this isn't even an image. Let's have a look. Kind of confused why this isn't working. It must be an HTML problem. Anyway, we'll look at this in some more detail. I'm probably going to fix this to see whether it'll increase the ranking of the page. But this is just a very, very small mistake in what is otherwise a really good article. And so it's very, very interesting to see just how much of an effect it can have just having a very, very small error on a good website. Okay, so we've got 177 impressions here. That's not good at all. We go to date, most recent date, 15 impressions in a day. Really, really bad. However, on the other hand, we have this one here. Best jeans and boots combinations for 2024. We have a perfect article with lots of jeans, lots of images here. You can see doesn't seem to be any formatting errors whatsoever. History right here, more boots right here, and you can see the difference is this is 1.3 thousand impressions. So it's doing 10 times better than the previous article, purely because everything is correct and there are no errors whatsoever in there. Now, you might say this is keyword based. However, both keywords have a lot of searches per month. Each one has about 10,000 searches per month. So just before we end the video, let's talk a little bit about the other things that do affect your page score, page quality score. And again, this is kind of, we're kind of guessing because Google does give us this information, but they never give us all of the information. So we do have to guess to some extent. But the things that I've found that affect it the most are formatting errors, like I said before, bad content, which just means like not very well written content, not grammatically correct content, or just just doesn't read properly. Like if you actually read this article that got destroyed by Google, and I thought this was going to really, really pop off at one point. Like I was really, really excited to see where this went. It was ranking for insane keywords such as bag sealer, heat sealer, electric spin scrubber. I still think this is a really good tactic, and this really did inspire me to have a look at maybe just making a tech website. But I would do it in a much higher quality way. Like this way of auto blogging just doesn't work for this kind of website, because if you actually look at the article that was produced, it just I think this was actually Koala AI, but I just don't like this article. You've just got bad featured image, massive wall of text, massive Amazon disclaimer. There are no titles, just adverts, and all of this is text. Look at that. You have to scroll 3 or 4 times just to get to the first bloody product. So yeah, I wouldn't do it like this next time. If I did do this again, I would do like key takeaway image tables at the top. I would do it all myself on ChatGPT most likely. You can see this article's just not good. Just not a good article. The quality is bad. It has everything that you need to have a good article, but it's missing like formatting, and there's too much text, and the external links are in the titles. Just all this stuff that just makes this a bad article. Okay. No pictures is a very common problem. You should at least have a featured image and a couple of products in there. That's just necessary. No tables, or no, good formatting. And then walls of text is something that I see way too often. You cannot have a big wall of text like this with nothing. People don't read this, and if people don't read it, Google will not promote it, okay? You need to have quick, engaging content that gives people all of the information they need at the very top of the article. That is what I have been doing recently. I've been experimenting with this, and, you just need to make sure you don't have a big wall of text. So this is not a wall of text. You have the title, you have another title, and then instantly an image of a product, and then instantly a table, and then another table. This is the kind of thing that people like to read. They like tables, they like lists, they like bold, just things to take away from the big wall of text. Never, ever have big walls of text. People will not read them. I highly recommend subscribing to Google Search Central. This is where I get a lot of my information. Now, a lot of YouTubers, what they do is they just kind of make things up. I would highly recommend reading this right here, developers.google.com/search, and also watching a lot of these videos. This is how you should learn about SEO. This is how you should learn everything you need about SEO. straight from Google, not from us, not from, these crazy YouTubers who make all these crazy claims, from Google themselves. I really, really do highly recommend reading all of the documentation on developers.google.com/search and watching a good amount of these videos. Now, the ones with, I think he's called John. I can't remember his name exactly right now. I think he's called John Mueller, I think, are really, really good. And these ones here, the podcast, so where it says episode here, these are the best videos for sure. The others are just little kind of helpful videos, but I mean, Japanese search office hours, that's not going to help me, obviously. But yeah, the ones where it says episode 62, let's pick a domain name. This will be very, very useful, I guarantee it. Although they'll say exact domain match doesn't matter when I've seen evidence that it does. Why is my site not indexed? I'm sure this would be very, very useful as well. But overall, you kind of know when a website is burnt and it's time to move on to something new when content is not getting indexed anymore, okay? So if you go on pages and you watch the no index and this is rising instead of falling, and the green one, if this is falling, just start a new website, honestly, or delete all the content that you've written so far, or change the URLs. Crawled, currently not indexed. This is the most important thing to know whether or not your website is screwed, okay? I can see that a lot of my posts are now here. This website is screwed, okay? Like, there's probably no saving it. I would rather just start a new website at this point and try it again, this time with much higher quality content. The way I built this website in the beginning was perfect, and I wouldn't change anything about how I created the pillar pages. I would just maybe not go so crazy with the auto blogging, posting 3 blogs per day and then just leaving it and completely forgetting about it, etc., etc. Anyway, that is my take on page quality and content quality score. These two things are very, very important to growing on Google, especially with the helpful content update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon with some more content. Peace out.